Good morning and welcome to the first day of Rally Islas Canarias here in Gran Canaria. That is your World Championship leader, Elvin Evans, limbering up for the first of 6 stages today. 118 competitive kilometres, 59 kilometre loop. This stage 1 is the longest of the rally at 26 Ks. David, are you feeling brave enough to try and grab a quick word?
No, Elvin, this is one hell of a way to wake up. What are your thoughts on that first stage?
Yeah, obviously it's a tricky one, but you just do what you can.
I heard anything about the weather?
Yeah, a bit. This one first one looks pretty okay. It should be, but let's see.
Yeah. Have a good one. It is going to be. Watch your back there. A lot of cars around. It's a very busy start to the morning. We're about 3 or 4 kilometres from the start of the stage. Oh my goodness.
That is fever.
Yeah. You don't actually see many of those at all on the road, but we mustn't get distracted by the Evo 3. That first stage, like we said, the first 10 kilometres, it is incredibly twisty. It's going to work the tyres unbelievably hard.
It's a mixture of everything in this rally, isn't it? I think it's twisty at the beginning, double width. The weather is the big thing we haven't really talked about as well. As you can probably see, it's obviously early in the morning, but a lot of these clouds aren't looking very sunshiny, are they, to me, David? And this is the challenge they've got is, yes, it's dry, but the temperature difference between certain parts of the stage. At the minute, we're currently at 1,500 feet. Stage 1 climbs up to 5,000, so it's a big difference. And you looking at the tyres there of Thierry, and you mentioned it, that's the big thing they've got to think about is the hard compound tyre, which a lot of them will be using this weekend for a consistent amount of time. They don't really know it, and they've got to learn its characteristics while dealing with the change in temperatures, potential pockets of rain. It's very interesting.
But I think that first 10 kilometres or so, where it is narrow and there are more junctions, you're asking more of the tyre. The tyre is there's going to get more heat into the tyre quickly, and then as they get up to it's around 10k, they pop up out into that double width road for pretty much the rest of the stage. From there on, the tyre's not working quite so hard. So if they're on the hard, it's not really even about managing it. They'll get it up to temperature reasonably quickly. But like you say, up on the top of that mountain is where they're heading. And absolutely anything could be happening up there. We've heard that there isn't a lot of rain up there. Let's just have a very quick word with Thierry. Hey, Martin, are you expecting any rain up there?
It doesn't look very sunny, but I hope there is no rain.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we are not well prepared.
How difficult though? It's first 10k, but it's so twisty, so many junctions. It's a great start to the day for you.
Yeah, but it's also easy to make a mistake in that first part. So we need to stay calm, steady, and it's a long stage and a long rally.
It is indeed a very, very long stage. It is. What did we say? 26k that first one, Longest stage of the event. It's a big way. And always kind of bemusing slightly to see they've just come out of service.
Yeah.
And they're already working on the cars.
We can't quite work out what they're doing from this angle, but you can see. But I love this about rallying, and what makes it this is a world champion. First thing in the morning, and he's playing around with his own car, make sure everyth's perfect. There's nobody here to help him but Martin. It's incredible, but nothing looks concerning anyway, we'll say that.
As we said, it's about 3-4 kilometres up into the town. What's the town called?
Vasquillo, I think, and then they end up in La Barrera's that one. Vasquillo's where they start.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is genuinely a feature of this event, is the starts in the centre of town. They bring the action right into the people, don't they? Calais, good morning. Are you awake?
No.
It is a little bit early, but what a great way to start. Is this a good stage? Is this one of your favourites for the weekend?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's one of the most difficult ones for sure. It's the only stage where we have this kind of really technical and narrow part in the beginning. All the others are pretty much similar flow, let's say. So this start is a bit different, but the end of the stage is really nice.
Yeah, that start, how will the tyre manage that? Is there any concern that it's not very hot now, but will you have to manage the tyre through that first 10k?
Well, I think the beginning is actually the best part, because even though it's twisty and narrow, you're not loading the tire so much than in the big road. So yeah, for sure at the end we will be having some heat on the tires.
Is it quite good fun to go through that narrow bit, or is it quite frustrating because you just want to give the car the gears?
Yeah, it's maybe not the most enjoyable one because it's quite narrow. You need to take care a lot. For sure, it's more fun when it opens up then.
Have a good one. Quickest at shakedown.
You can see Sammy Pirate on your screen as well, listening to either commentary or voice notes, and I'm not sure, but we'll not interrupt him when he's clearly
No, he's
busy.
looking fairly intently. That
Yeah.
phone is
Press
right up
to
against
the
the
ear.
ear,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is indeed. But yeah, I love this. I do love this atmosphere in the morning. You can see Elliot's panning the camera in the Toyotas behind him, 180 degrees to behind Elliot. If you can have a quick look, we've got Thierry Neuville putting the glasses on, helmet ready. Everything is peaceful.
One big point that he made yesterday, we come off the back of Safari, which was without a doubt the roughest round of the championship so far, because we only had Sweden and Monty before it, into what is going to be the smoothest.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a guy who knows tarmac rally. He grew up in Belgium, cut his teeth on events like Ypres, where you've got a surface that's constantly changing. You know, you've got complete opposite to this. You've got cuts everywhere into all of the junctions.
What would you like a little stat for a Friday morning?
Yes, please.
He's won 21 rallies in his WRC career, 10 of them on tarmac.
Really?
When you consider how few tarmac rallies there are compared to gravel or snow, it's quite incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
he's
that's very impressive.
definitely a force to be reckoned with this weekend.
But not so much on this kind of tarmac where it's super clean. And that it is a different style of driving. You know, on events in Belgium, it's the same as Monty. You know, you're almost quite defensive in the way you're driving the car because you're ready for anything.
Sammy, good morning. You had your phone very intently up to your ear. Is that a call, some information from the engineers? Your friends giving you a good luck message?
Yeah.
Do you need luck today, Sammy? You looking confident? A great result for you in Kenya last tonight as well. How's everything feeling in the car on the surface?
Good. Actually, quite enjoyable so far at least. But okay, the rally didn't start yet, so I think after a few hours we know a bit more.
It's been a long week, hasn't it? So this is when it finally all begins. You get to know how well your preparation's been, so good luck out there. So that's Oitanak there, helmets on, so he's stopped further down the road. And it's a key thing, actually. It's a challenge for us. We need to try and work out where they're all going to stop. They don't always stop in the
And
same
it is
pocket.
going to be difficult on this weekend. As we said, the stages are starting in the centre of towns, so there's not really too many places, and the roads are narrow here. We saw the start shakedown yesterday. It was unbelievably tight at the start.
Well, we've just travelled a little bit further down the road and found our next batch of Rally 1 cars. You're looking at Takamoto Katsuta and co-driver Aaron Johnson as Adrian Fomo makes his way out. Taka, very, very quickly, how confident are you this morning? Quite a difficult challenge this first stage of 26 kilometres.
Yeah, a bit different type of the stage. So especially this narrow section in the beginning, a bit, only one stage like this in this rally. So yeah, let's see. Maybe settings are not ideal for this section, but it should be okay.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
Big job for drivers and co-drivers in that first 10K. It's a section that, as a co-driver, you're not going to stop reading. It's note. And so much, the road's narrowing, it's going from narrow to super narrow to ridiculously narrow to just about wide enough to fit the car down. It is the pictures that we're going to see from the first 10K this morning, I think are going to be some of the best that we've seen all year.
Yep.
Just the madness of seeing these things firing down the lanes is going to be remarkable. Let's have a wander back and see the
M
M Sport
boys.
drivers.
Yeah.
They're both up there on the wall doing exactly.
So they are looking at the same stuff.
Yeah.
Just a very quick word, actually. Your drivers are up there staring at Owen's doing. What are you two doing? If the drivers are together, it's just co-drivers club over here.
So the drivers are watching the live TV, so they know what to expect, and we were just chatting about tire pressures and procedures and so on, just usual co-driver stuff.
So you're the ones that have all the hard work to do, really, aren't you? Quite a challenging event, though, this rally for co-drivers. Lots of different corners to come.
This is quite a challenge for co-drivers because it's really quick, as it's pure dry tarmac, and we take the performance peak of the cars. But also we have to deliver quite a lot of corners, so yeah, it's a challenge, but it's what's make it exciting.
Good luck out there. Thanks, Louis. See, somehow rally drivers always look cool, no matter what they're doing. There's something about it, isn't there?
Well, it's going to be you soon enough, Luke. I'm not quite a rally driver, but co-driver.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Jim Clark.
You don't have to tell the world that.
Will you be looking as cool as that?
No.
I think you will.
No, I've not got the physique for it, unfortunately.
So basically now the cars are in over the top of this sort of hill here, and then they're heading up into the clouds eventually. Don't want to interrupt too much, Josh. What are your thoughts on what you've seen in that first stage?
It's pretty racing. It's dry, it's what is expected, and yeah, it's nice to get an overview of what's happening ahead, and this is the advantage of running further back in the road.
How difficult is that first 10 or so kilometres going to be this morning?
Yeah, it starts actually quite wide for the first like 3k, and then maybe to the next 8 km point, it's narrow and tricky. A lot of dumb cuts and yeah, unexpected rocks. So yeah, a lot different from the rest of the rally, but it's a eye opener to get started.
Is there a bit of a sigh of relief when you get out to the wider road?
I don't know. Time will tell.
We'll see soon enough. But we will start to get some times through from the end of the first one. Unless we have already, Luke.
No. First slide of the morning right there.
Quite a big moment coming down there.
Well, those are the thoughts of some of our drivers here at the start of leg 1. David, I'll keep telling you this and asking you this throughout all of our coverage. Who are you picking? Who's going to do well this morning?
Who did I say last time?
You said OJ last time.
And look, the way that Sebastian went off into that first stage, he's a man on a mission this morning. I think my money would still be on him. But absolutely, I think as we've discovered this morning, anything can happen. The degree of apprehension from the drivers about that super narrow first section.
Yeah, there is some trepidation, isn't there? Because obviously it stands to reason it's a step into the unknown for all of them. Some of them have done the rally before, but not in a car like this.
And not on these tyres.
Nope.
You know, there's a lot of unknowns out there. So yeah, let's go. Stay tuned to dirtfish.com and all of our social channels throughout the whole event and today, and we will catch up soon.